Welcome to Freedom in Hours. Andy here again. Great to have you back with us today. Now, today I want to talk about a subject which really is close to my heart, and it's why I told you crypto would crash. Now, while I don't like to do I told you so videos, in this case, I have to really get the message across to my viewers and subscribers that crypto is a volatile currency. You see, 18 months ago, I did a video, why Bitcoin is a bad investment. In that video, I discussed about how Bitcoin was going to fall, was going to crash further, and the great risks in the marketplace. Now, Bitcoin then was around $51,000 Australian. It then went up to $83,000 Australian, and it's come all the way back down to 26,000 Australian now. Now, I've done a lot of other videos over that time. You know, why Bitcoin is not an asset, why Bitcoin is not like gold, Bitcoin and Ethereum missing out, how far will crypto fall 2022? And each of those videos I described why cryptocurrencies were going to crash, why they were going to keep on falling, and what you need to do about it to protect your money. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people I know didn't take that message to heart, and they kept their money in there. I know people that have lost $1 million through cryptocurrency falling. Now, what people say is, when I go and say to them, you know, crypto's fallen, now get your money out, they say, you haven't made a loss unless you sell. Well, unfortunately, guys, if you have actually hold cryptocurrency now, say you bought $83,000, it's now $26,000, you have actually lost money. For crypto to go back up to $83,000, you'd effectively have to make a return of 350% on your money. The money's gone. In this video, I want to go back to some of my greatest hits of those past videos to kind of show you what the warnings were. I want to go and talk each of those videos, do a couple of sneak previews about what I actually said during them, and I'll put links in the articles below about it. But you know, one thing I'm passionate about is I got so much hate messages and comments from people when I said cryptocurrency was going to fall. They said I was crazy, I didn't understand the technology, didn't know what I was talking about, and I'm quite passionate about it. And all through the videos I said it's not about the technology, it's about whether or not it's an investment. And it's still not an investment. I still want to buy at $26,000, I wouldn't buy at $1,000 for Bitcoin. And I feel personally it's going to go down below 2016 levels with the high inflation rates. It may also go into below $1,000. Now I'm going to do another video about, you know, how far will crypto crash in this year, or where crypto bottom will be. So look out for that in the description as well. But my concern is get out of the market now. It's dropping. It went up for no reason. And the great risk is still out there. So anyway, we're going to kick off the video now. Why Bitcoin is a bad investment. Now remember, this is also on podcast as well. So guys, if you're on podcast, you can still listen to it. It reads the same in it. But we're going to go through the several videos I did, take key snapshots of it, so you can see why cryptocurrencies continue going down. And that's what we'll do it now at Freedom in Hours. So now I'm going to be talking about something I'm really passionate about, and that's why Bitcoin is a bad investment. Now, there's been a lot of words about Bitcoin going on at the moment with it pushing $40,000. And here at Freedom Hours, we're really passionate about ensuring that you create the life you desire and the financial life you desire. And part of that is making sure that you guys don't fall into traps that could hurt your wealth. Now, Bitcoin at $40,000 at the moment, it really does frighten me. I really believe Bitcoin is a bad investment. I actually owned Bitcoin long ago at $1,000. And even back then, I didn't think it was worth much money. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a bit about how Bitcoin came into existence, why the price has gone so high, why there's a lot of risk to it attached, and what you should do to avoid Bitcoin and other things you can do to be making money. So let's jump in. But what is Bitcoin? It's computer code. You're not buying the blockchain technology that sits behind Bitcoin. You're buying a computer code. Now, people are paying $40,000 for a bit of computer code. Now, I've heard a lot of people saying Bitcoin's the next best thing. It's going to go to $200,000. It's going to go to $500,000. You know what? It could go to $1 billion. When we're talking about fancy and fairy tales, it could go anywhere. There is no underlying earnings for Bitcoin. There's no underlying assets. It's not appreciating. You can't do anything to control the outcome of how Bitcoin works. You're buying something on the hope that it's going to go up. So my big concern with Bitcoin as well is also the mania is taking hold again like it did a couple of years ago. So I'm not sure if you guys saw about companies changing their name to Bitcoin. So there was a tea company that changed its name towards being associated with Bitcoin. Its share price went up by 100 times. That's mania. That's craziness. It doesn't make sense. The company's still the same, but people are buying it because of the name. Now in this case, people are buying Bitcoin because of the name. They believe it's going to go up. They're being told it's going to go up. stop and be careful about the decisions you make. You're in control of your life, and don't start making decisions based on what you think is going to happen. Again, Ponzi schemes, let's look at that. So people come in, they buy a small amount of it, they then tell other people, you get in, you'll make money as well. They then take the profit from those people. Those people bring more people in, again and again. Where are you guys going to be sitting in this Ponzi scheme if you buy Bitcoin now? You're going to be sitting at the top or sitting at the bottom? Now, I had people say that you should maybe put 2 or 3% of your wealth in Bitcoins. You know what? That's okay. If you've got 2 to 3% of your money, if you want to diversify yourself, that's okay. Put a bit of money into it. You know, I might even put a little bit of money into it. 2 to 3%, doesn't matter. But when I hear people talking about they're going to put their kids' savings in there, they're going to put their house deposit in there, it frightens me. It really does. So guys, Bitcoin is a con. It's used as a method of exchange, a method of buying things. It's simple. What do you measure a way of buying things? There you go. It's speculative. It's all up to you. So don't buy Bitcoin. Buy a little bit if you want to, or if you want to risk your money, go for it. To investing with Bitcoin, so depending on your age, so let's do a couple of examples. So if you're young, 18, living at home, you've got a spare $5,000, then I suggest maybe using 10% of that to invest in Bitcoin. Put $500 in there, give it a bit of a go, see what happens. It may go up, but at least you'll be learning how finances work and how to trade marketplace. You get some good experience. If you're 65, for example, just retired, and you're looking at not working anymore, then even $500 may be a bit much for Bitcoin, but I'd suggest maybe removing yourself from Bitcoin, trying other assets. That being said though, if you're retired at 65, portfolio of $1 million, then go for it. You know, maybe put $500, $1,000 in Bitcoin and give it a go. And with all this, as you can see, I'm talking about it as being a speculative investment rather than being an investment as such. It's really important. And also I want you to look at your goals as well. So when you invest your money, you need to know what your outcome is. So are you looking at capital appreciation? Are you looking at earning some income, for example, dividends for stocks? Are you looking at a income, for example, from real estate? And you really need to know what your investment goals are. So back when I was younger, 20 years ago, I decided to go into speculative real estate, and it went really, really well for me. Unfortunately, I did lose a bit of money on the way, but being young, I was able to pick myself back up and carry on the way. For future years, I built my money through businesses and investing that way. So it really depends on what your goals are. Now, Bitcoin, again, is a speculative investment. Depends on how much money you have, but I wouldn't do any more than 1 to 3% of your worth in Bitcoin. And my concern is, because we don't have a value for Bitcoin, it's very, very volatile. Now, whenever assets are volatile, it increases the risk. It does increase the potential of return, but it also increases the risk. When you've got movements of 20 to 30% per day, it can be quite frightening. And that's what I also suggest to people to look at is, when you're looking at investing in Bitcoin, know whether or not you can be there for the ride. Now, it's like a roller coaster. Now, I suggest, I've had people that invested with me in the past, and they watched every little swing of movements of prices. Now, if you're not in for a hairy ride, stay out of Bitcoin, because you could see rises 10, 20% sometimes, drops to 10, 20%. And my concern is, you don't want investing to be ruling your life. You want investing to work for you. And that also supports what we spoke about previously in regards to Bitcoin, that you're not actually buying the technology. You're not actually buying the asset. You're buying the digital code that comes with the currency. Now, yes, Bitcoin has a lot of usefulness. I won't disagree. It allows you to be able to transfer and send funds globally. You can use it for payments. You can use it to transfer money. It's a good way of you having another way to use, to transact. I wouldn't say use money. But that's where it comes into play, because it's not an asset as such. It's a means of trade. So will Bitcoin go to zero? More than likely not. I think there's a lot of support people to buy Bitcoin at lower levels. It could go to zero, but I doubt it will very much. Is it worth what it's worth now? $40,000. Actually, I think it's dropped quite a bit since I did my previous videos. I think it's down about 25%, which doesn't surprise me. But do I think it'll go to zero? More than likely not. I read that there's a multimillionaire that has orders placed at 1 cent for every Bitcoin that's available that he'd buy up. So, I mean, it wouldn't cost him much to do that. I think there's a place for cryptocurrency technologies. I just don't think we should be investing them or using them as a vehicle to make money or vehicle to create assets. I know at the moment that things do seem a lot more overvalued in the investment market, both across properties, shares, companies, and that's because the government has invested a lot of money into the economy through printing it. And I do get what viewers have said. They're saying that fiat money is being printed, it's being deflated. Yes, that's a major issue, but I don't think that's an issue why you should be investing in Bitcoin. Your investment strategy should be a mixed strategy across many different asset classes, coming from a mixture of shares, stocks, mutual funds, real estate, commercial property, business investments, and even a small amount can be in cryptocurrency. But just because large fund managers have purchased cryptocurrency, that doesn't mean it's a good investment. So gold itself has been proven over thousands of years, and I think even going back to Egyptian times, gold was being seen as a store of wealth. Okay, so now we're looking at something like Bitcoin. That's a very relatively recent phenomenon. It's got no underlying asset value, no underlying backing. Essentially, it's backed by the people. So what this means is Bitcoin's value is dependent on what the next person is going to pay. If you want to pay more for it, it will go up. Now, Bitcoin potentially could double or triple. I don't know. And it's a greater fool philosophy. If it's a greater fool that wants to purchase something, then it'll go up. So say, for example, I wanted to buy my YouTube channel here of someone else. They want to pay $1 million for it. The YouTube channel is now worth $1 million. Now, would I say my YouTube channel is worth $1 million? Well, yes, possibly it is. But the reality is, the real value of it is not $1 million. So, and that comes from any kind of asset. If you want to buy more for something, the price goes up. But that doesn't mean it's worth more. So to compare Bitcoin to gold, in my opinion, is actually quite mad, to be honest. It's quite insane. Think about with the whole Bitcoin idea is just because something is going up doesn't necessarily mean it is an investment. So if you go and put money on a horse, the horse wins. You put money on the horse again, it wins again. Is that investment or is just plain luck? So anyway, I had looked up the definition of an asset. An asset is something that produces income or adds value. So a lot of businesses value assets such as cash, accounts receivables, vehicles, stock, real estate they may own, commercial property, shares, and they're things that actually produce an income. Now, if you turn around and have a look at Bitcoin, well, what income does it produce? Well, firstly, it doesn't produce any income. So the Bitcoins are traded, and they're traded on an exchange. But that doesn't mean they're an investment. Secondly, a lot of people have said that Bitcoin's an investment because it's now a currency. Well, unfortunately, Bitcoin's not actually a currency. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort to actually mine Bitcoins to put them on the blockchain. There's nothing intrinsically in the value that means they should be a currency. Now, if you look at something like the United States dollar, which you get a lot of people compared it to, the United States dollar is actually backed by the US government. It's not, whereas Bitcoin is backed by the people, so to speak. So you're comparing a Bitcoin with a currency, making an asset. No, it doesn't work, unfortunately. I don't think it's got underlying value, and while I don't think it's an investment, I do believe that people will still want to use it to trade and to exchange money for things. Whether that's a Bitcoin's worth $100, $1,000, I don't know. You can buy it for that, but I wouldn't be buying it as an investment. Again, let's look at what investment it is. An investment is something that creates value. So I have investment properties. They create an income for me. I have businesses. They create an income. I have shares in companies that create income through dividend stocks. All these things create revenue. Bitcoin doesn't create revenue. It just sits there. It's just a tradable asset. Much like, I don't know, buying poker chips at the casino. So don't buy Bitcoin. That's my concern. Now, I've got a concern about, I guess, what's going on with people's psychology as well. If you look at the Australian property market, we've got property prices going up here by $1,000 a day in some areas. It's absolute madness. Yes, it's low interest rates is happening, which causes asset prices to go up, but people are really losing their minds. It's turned into mania. So I recommend you to be careful buying assets generally at the moment. They're very, very overvalued. The first thing that's going to happen with Bitcoin, if there's a credit crunch on or interest rates start to go up and there's less money available, people will pull their money out of Bitcoin. It's because there's just so many different things that people want to invest in at the moment, which has caused Bitcoin to go like this. So if you want to sit there and go and buy cryptocurrencies with no financial literacy, well, maybe come and see me. I'll take you on a trip. We'll go to Star City Casino, just down the road here, Gold Coast, and we can go and do a flutter. And the great thing with a house is, I think blackjack's got about 85% chance of winning. I think the poker machines is about 87% chance, which is a lot more than you're going to win in cryptocurrency. You see, if you invest in crypto without having insider knowledge, without having the market knowledge, without having the financial literacy about what's going on, or without being a market player, you're at the whims of the market and other people, and it will go down. So, put your money in the casino, but go and do your financial literacy. So I'll do some more videos about financial literacy, what kind of areas you need to look at. Now you need to, obviously you need to build your own passive cash flow. You need to start looking at buying assets that produce an income, then use that income to buy more assets. So we talked about how you can do videos such as this, where I'm doing YouTube, where I make money from my income from advertising. But anyway, make sure you reach out to me and let me know what you think. Crypto has a lot further to go. I would be surprised if we see another 50% fall, potentially back to prices we've seen back in like 2017, 2018. If you've already lost a lot of money, I'm really sorry. You should have got to this video earlier, but crypto will fall in 2022. How far will it fall in 2022? It is hard to say. I don't like to give numbers, but I talk about trends. And trends in the graph pointing downwards. There's no financial fundamentals. It's a very risky category. So I hope you enjoyed seeing those videos and seeing exactly why cryptocurrency will continue to crash and why it's not a good investment. And I know there's people out there still trying to market cryptocurrency as the next best thing, but unless you understand the market, unless you've done your research, unless you know the technical indicators, unless you really know what you're doing, you're going to be stuffed. It doesn't work. So make sure that if you don't know your research, stay out of the market, don't gamble. I did another video, as you could see, why people gamble instead of investing. I'm very passionate about that too, but the market is going to bear territory. Crypto is going to be the thing that drops the most. It already has. It's gone from $83,000 Bitcoin down to $26,000. It could quite easily plunge, I believe, below $1,000. I've been saying that right through my videos. The tried and tested investment rules and strategies always remain the same. You can't dupe it. This cryptocurrency thing is exactly the same as the .com boom. As you saw in my videos, all along, you look at the market trends and you can tell what's going to happen. Don't buy something that's not an asset. Don't buy something you're gambling on. Don't buy something that your friends are telling you to buy. Hold your cash at the moment. Look out for opportunities. A lot's going to be coming in the market as well. The market will bottom. Cryptocurrency, though, because it's all speculative, has no bottom. So anyway, make sure you put in comments down below what you think. If maybe I saved you some money as well, if you weren't in cryptocurrency, you watch my videos. Thank you. We're going to do a lot of other financial information products as well. Well, not information products, but more so, description about kind of how you can take control of your financial destiny, but also your physical, your spiritual, and your emotional. Take control of your business affairs. At FreedomInHours, we believe in doing small things each and every day, and those small things will add up to success in your life. Anyway, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click subscribe to the podcast as well, and also check out our sister channel, Mr. Yoo-Hoo, MRYUWHO, where we go through a lot of review products as well. But again, I hope I saved you some money here, guys. So crypto will fall further. You need to stay out of the marketplace. There's so much risk in it at the moment. We're going into a bear market. With inflation going high, it's not the time to be spending money in something that holds no value. Now, I did say previously you could even maybe hold 1 to 2% of your money in crypto, 5% if you're speculative. Don't hold any money in there at all. It's a dangerous asset class, and don't listen to the people that are saying that it's the next best thing still to happen. There's so many cryptocurrencies out there. Yes, the technology is great, but we're talking about an investment. Anyway, as you can see, the description to all the videos I did below that we referenced through this product. I hope you liked hearing me doing the talks in each of them. As you can see, they went over 18 months, and they really did predict what was going to happen. And again, I don't want to say I told you that crypto was going to fall, but the reality is I did. And what frightens me is it was so clear that it was going to crash to me. It's like looking at a lake and you see water, and other people are seeing sand. And that's what kind of frightens me with investors generally. People just don't seem to have the financial understanding and the financial knowledge to make decisions. And crypto is another big example. Something that was so clear to me, that made so much sense, people didn't listen. And I'm sorry if you lost money, but you need to learn lessons sometimes. And that's kind of, I guess, hard truths. And that's kind of hard truth John gave me, my mentor. Before I started FreedomInHours, I did lose a bit of money, didn't listen to him, and I've learned my lesson from it. But anyway, look through the other videos about how you can make financial success. Don't worry about it too much, because there's lots of different ways you can earn money. And at FreedomInHours, we'll look after you. So anyway, make sure you, as I said, like, subscribe, share, and put in comments what you think. And thanks for joining us here at Freedom in hours.